Hello and welcome to Vividware Electronics. Today we're going to be talking about my most favorite controller in the world, the Nintendo GameCube Wavebird. Looking at it, you can see its awesomeness, and it's... what's that? Here. This looks like an abomination. And it's by InterAct. Well... okay then. Last time we reviewed the SuperPad for the Super Nintendo, and now we're reviewing the PiranhaPad for the PlayStation 1. This is also by InterAct. So you're probably looking at it in confusion. Like, why would you review this? It's obsolete. Well, that's just the thing. Nobody's talked about it, and nobody wants to talk about it, so why shouldn't I? Remember, the PiranhaPad came out before the DualShock controllers did, so you can imagine, no analog sticks, so basically this whole section of the controller didn't exist, and no rumble feature. But even so, this controller looks nothing like the original. It's like they tried to reshape it, really. Which brings us on to the next subject, the controller's shape. It's weird, it's just so different. I mean, sometimes different's okay, sometimes different works out. Not so much here. They made these grooves, here, for your ring finger and pinky finger, but it just doesn't work. And I'll show you why, but I just don't have enough room here in my recording space. See, now you know there's something up when I gotta show you something from a completely different camera angle. Which means no more background. What I mean is, when you have your fingers in these grooves the way they want you to, your index fingers just go all the way down here. At least mine do, naturally. What's down here, though? There's nothing down here. You got these 4 bumpers that you can't reach unless you change the position of your ring finger and pinky finger. Who tested this thing? Clearly they weren't testing for true quality. It's for those grooves alone that I want to give this controller D- right off the bat, but I can't. Because all the buttons are in the right place. And what's stopping you from holding the controller a slightly different way? The buttons. Wow, look at that D-pad. It's huge! It's nothing like the original. But it's okay because it's easy to press and easy to rock around. I actually prefer this controller's D-pad over the original. On this side, the colors are missing. It's not really that big of a deal, but at the same time it kind of makes this controller an eyesore to look at. If it already wasn't. Ugh. Also, the buttons appear to be a bit smaller. Now, in the middle, start and select, those buttons are bigger. In the back, we have our bumpers. The bottom ones, R2 and L2, are not as big as the other ones, but I have not found that to be a problem yet. Hopefully it never will be. Up here, here's a big difference. We've got a switch for semi and auto. If you flip it to the auto side, the difference is that when you press a button, it repeatedly presses that button. It's like a turbo controller, really. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. But I would always leave that switch off. It's really useless. On the bottom here, there's another switch. On one side of it, you know, there's nothing, and on the other side, there's a running dude. I'm not sure what that means, and I never really could figure it out. If anybody can figure out what that switch does, or has one of these controllers, please let me know in the comments. That would be helpful. And the controller input, where it usually says Sony, it instead says InterAct. Boy, they were really They really didn't want any lawsuits over this, huh? So is the PiranhaPad worth picking up?
Probably not. Why? Because it was poorly built and is now obsolete. But don't worry about that, because you could find DualShock controllers just about anywhere these days. And they're cheap.
So that'll do it for the PiranhaPad controller by InterAct for the PlayStation 1. Thank you for watching.